Evangelism. Now, there's a word that's largely misunderstood. If you're walking around and you ask people, what do you think of when you hear the word evangelism? Some people might say, guard your wallet, or pink hair and bad TV. But for those of us who are Christ followers, when we think of evangelism, we tend to picture in our heads things like a church service, or people raising their hands, or walking down an aisle, or praying a prayer. We tend to think of evangelism as being about a particular moment. Jesus used an interesting word picture to help us understand evangelism. He said, "Come follow me and I will make you fishers of men." Have you ever been fishing? Why don't we call it catching instead of fishing? I mean, isn't that the whole point? And those of you out there who love to go fishing, right now you're saying, no, that's not the point. The point is the experience. Man, you don't actually have to catch anything to have gone fishing. I mean, we've all seen the bumper sticker, right? The one that says, a bad day fishing is better than a good day working. I mean, I guess the whole point is that fishing is about a process. Jesus saw evangelism as a process rather than a moment. He described it as being like fishing, maybe so that we can understand what Jesus meant better. Instead of calling it evangelism, we ought to call it, I don't know, peopling. Peopling is a process. It's a process that requires choosing the right lures at the right time. It's a process that requires intentionality and strategy and perseverance and hope. When we use lures in our peopling, they shouldn't always just be words. Most of the time, they ought to be our actions. We can go peopling by demonstrating to people God's love in practical ways. Life groups are about peopling. They're about evangelism. I mean, think about it. Life groups are already out there in the community, right there in that sea of people. And think about this too. Of all of the things that Jesus asked us to do, evangelism is the only one that we can't do in heaven. I mean, when we get to heaven, we're going to be able to worship. We're going to be able to study the deepest secrets of the Bible. We're going to be able to spend all kinds of time with our friends and our loved ones and experience real fellowship. We're even going to be able to serve and minister to each other. But we will not encounter a single person in heaven who doesn't already know God and His love. So what's that mean for us? We need to be intentional and take every opportunity to go peopling. We have a limited window. Will your group be a group that understands what evangelism really is? Will you embrace people?